Horizon Zero Dawn is a great new game that I am loving right now. And looking back over the past week of playing, I feel like I've learned a ton about many aspects of the game. So while I'm nowhere near completion of everything this amazing world has to offer, I have still noticed and thus compiled a list of things new and struggling novice players alike can learn to help better equip themselves for battle, teach them where to invest their time and resources, and provide useful information that the game otherwise glosses over. So starting off at number 1, Horizon does a lot of things right in terms of teaching you how to play. However, some of these things are much more covert. When scouring through the vast open world, it's hard not to get distracted by a lot of the huge machines roaming around. But these metal beasts are not the only inhabitants of this palpable world. There are animals such as boars, raccoons, turkeys, fish, foxes, and other that often go unnoticed by their much larger, cooler counterparts. Even with this being said, these animals are some of the most important to hunt. Their meat, bones, and skins are actually used to improve the size of your satchels, allowing you to hold and equip more resources, mods, ammo, weapons, etc. in your inventory. So unless you want to find that out the hard way, you're going to want to kill as many of these as you stumble upon. As genocidal as that probably sounds. Now, mods are something that can really improve a certain outfit or weapon's performance, but there is something about mods that the game doesn't exactly tell you. When you try to switch a mod out for a different one, the one being replaced will actually be deleted and disappear forever. The game tells you this in some small red text at the bottom right of your screen, but a lot of players most likely won't notice this right away. There are a few remedies to this issue. You can either wait to equip your best mods until you are finally able to purchase that perfect purple quality weapon, or you can stash your skill points into the skill Tinker, which will allow you to mix and match those mods around on the fly as much as you'd like. Speaking of skills, there are some that are definitely better than others that you should be investing into. As said before, Tinker is a good one, but there are some other ones that are far better in the long run in regards to overall performance. Hands down, the first that should be chosen is Silent Strike, as it will be essential for literally everyone who ever plays the game. Trust me, you'd basically be making the game impossible to complete without it. Other good ones include Double and Triple Shot, allowing you to shoot multiple arrows at once, opposed to just one, obviously, doubling or tripling your damage depending on which one you're using. Lure Call is a wise choice as well, giving you the ability to call a single enemy to your location, basically giving you a free silent kill. And lastly is one that isn't exactly essential, but is still one that I personally enjoy. This skill is Knockdown. By doing so, you can, knock down a large enemy for a short time and critically strike them for massive damage. Soon enough through the campaign, you will be introduced with the ability of Overriding. Now at first you can override smaller, less dangerous enemies and use them for traversing the land quicker. But soon of course you will want to override more powerful, scarier machines, and you will hear Aloy hint to this as well when she is passing these machines. In order to do so, you'll need to learn about them in cauldrons. Each of these cauldrons are unique in comparison to the rest of the game, with a sort of Destiny Siva look to them. Upon traversing through and defeating a boss at the end, Aloy will learn how to override more machines. This tool can come in handy in combat when used correctly. Now, not all machines are overrideable, but still, having one of these giant beasts fighting on your side, or taking aggro, or simply allowing you to focus on only one at a time, makes some of these engagements much less overwhelming and thus easier for you. Merchants are scattered all throughout Horizon Zero Dawn, as all of them offer, for the most part, slightly different outfits, weapons, etc. First off, as a quick tip, each merchant has a free treasure box for you just for visiting them. There isn't really anything special in them, but of course the thought is nice. If you're a completionist like myself, you can also buy maps to reveal collectibles locations on your map. But putting those things aside, the main reason why I brought up merchants is in regards to fast travel. In Horizon, fast travel doesn't come cheap. Upon discovery of one of the many campfires scattered across the map, you will learn that you could fast travel to it should you ever want to go back there. However, in order to fast travel, you'll need a fast travel pack. Now these, at least for me, weren't really difficult to accumulate at all. But what the game doesn't tell you is that there is actually a golden fast travel pack that can be obtained rather easily. Avoiding spoilers in the story, there will be a time where you travel to a new area where merchants begin to sell this pack for a pretty cheap price. So just make sure you scroll to the bottom of their inventories just to make sure until you stumble upon him. And last but certainly not least, I want to talk about combat in Horizon Zero Dawn. Now much of it is used through stealth, hiding in bushes and tall grass, scoping out the area, tagging enemies with your focus, and planning your attack. Once in the thick of combat, however, there is a lot of quick thinking that goes into play. Horizon can prove to be brutally difficult if you go into an engagement with one of its machines without a strategy. The best way to go about this is rather self-explanatory. In Aloy's notebook, upon discovery of a new machine, there will be all of its strengths and weaknesses revealed. You'll have to understand that each of these beasts are different and thus require different ways of taking them out. Not to dinner. As far as basic tips go for just really any combat encounter, I prefer to start by using some sort of tripwire or hook or something to prevent the machine from being really mobile or chasing me, as even one hit can be devastating to your health. Also, make sure you have a lot of health with you on hand. With them preoccupied with trying to escape, I then use my Tear Blast arrows to remove any dangerous components. This not only removes powerful weapons that they have, allowing you to sometimes pick them up and give the machines a taste of their own medicine, but they also safely remove them, making you able to scavenge the parts for your own gain. Just aim for the weak spots and take time to learn how freeze, shock, and fire all differ in terms of dealing massive damage. Even with this being said, there are still many different ways to go into combat using melees or traps. Trust me, I know, these machines are terrifying at first, and it's much more difficult than popping in and out of cover hitting headshots. But if you come prepared, you will come out victorious every time. And it will be incredibly satisfying as well. A bonus tip would be to always try to know where the enemy is at all times, keep on the move, and as a bonus tip, make sure that you keep an eye on your health bar. In Horizon, your screen doesn't really become red or unsaturated or anything when you're at really low health, so this may just be a me problem, but there have been times where I've just died out of nowhere because I didn't know my health was low. Now, there still are some things about this game that I've learned, but I wanted to keep this as basic as I possibly could, while still giving you all helpful information about getting better and more accumulated to the game. It can be a bit difficult at times, and the game doesn't always tell you the ins and outs. But trust me, once you get the hang of it, this game becomes one of the most fun and original games I've played in a really long time. If you were on the fence about purchasing it, I would highly recommend it. You're getting a beautiful game with a deep, immersive, original world and story that's held up by addictive, challenging, but yet rewarding gameplay. If you have any further questions or want to know anything else, you can let me know in the comments below. If you enjoyed the video and found it helpful, leaving a positive rating would be greatly appreciated. And for more content like this, make sure to hit the subscribe button. Thank you so much for watching, and as always, I will see you in the next one.